Kaizer Chiefs will be looking to continue their fantastic start to the season, this time around facing Lamontville Golden Arrows at Moses Mabhida, and will be there. So how exactly will Nabi set up his team for this match? Well, as it happens, that's exactly what this video is all about. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pelo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. First of all, let's address this. I have had more growth on the cutback with Umpilo getting 3,000 subscribers in the last month compared to this channel, and this channel is what, 4 times bigger than that one. So guys, let's subscribe to the channel so that we get to 100,000. I can smell it. I can smell it. As we get 100,000, so that now I can get that good, nice play button. Ne? Anyways, in goal, Kaizer Chiefs will have no analysis. Brandon Peterson, who has done excellent so far this season. You know what's funny though about Peterson is the fact that even after 4 clean sheets and making some really convincing saves, people are still doubting him based on the fact that in the previous games, in the previous years, he did not perform well, which is funny because no one is using the same with Umonyane. No one is saying, oh, but Monyane was sitting on the bench at Pirates. Everyone is observing what Monyane is doing right now, which is performing really well. Everyone is not saying, oh, Serino, last year he fought with Sundowns players. When we needed a goal against Sundowns, people were like, bring on Serino. No one was saying, oh, he's going to be short-tempered. So I think sometimes we're being unfair to Peterson. Instead of just celebrating the fact that he has done well so far this season, we're busy, living in fear. And the more we say Chiefs needs a keeper, the more this thing probably ends up getting to him. And we are ruining our own players while they are doing well. So let's just be positive because there's a lot of positive things to celebrate. Which then brings us to the second player, and that is Uthabiso Monyane, the master of the half space. And if you haven't checked out the video analysis of how Chiefs drew with Sundowns, you can go check that video out. I'll link it at the end of the video. But Monyane plays well and he performs well. I do think that one of the things that will happen with the coach, they are going to try and give him as much game time as he possibly can because there's AFCON, and even if Umdao comes back, Umonyane, I think he has a chance not to start ahead of Umdao. I'm not that delusional, but he can still make the AFCON squad. And I think that the technical team are also thinking about, yes, the players helping the team win, but also if he can be a national asset, why not? And also, if you've noticed, the team, as much as we have a lot of new players and we have a lot of players in different positions, they're not trying to rotate just for vibes. They rotate because they see a need. This is not just gambling and seeing who is going to actually stick. Speaking of gambling, this video is brought to you by our friends at EasyBet, and we'll talk about them just a bit later here in the video. But now let's go back to the next player, and the next player at left back, not at left back, but at right center back is Inacio Miguel. Yazo Miguel, it's an unfortunate thing that keeps on happening. Whoever Miguel plays with at center back, they vibe. And this is making me continue doubting their partnership with Dotli, because Miguel has played with Msimango, they performed. He has played with Ukwinika, they've performed. He has played with Umakati, they've performed. And him and Dotli just never worked. It's so weird. I don't know if I'm the only one who's saying this, but it's the only partnership that looked like there was miscommunication. So if Dotli wants to come back and be a starter in that position alongside Miguel, it's going to be very difficult for him if Miguel is a starter, because now the thing that is happening is this next guy, which is Uzita Kweneka, has upped his game so much, which is making him or would make the coaches think, since Miguel did not pair up well with Dotli, maybe if Dotli comes back and he performs better than McCarthy, then Miguel might be the one who gets benched and then Kweneka starts alongside Udotli. But we're not there. Let's not talk about hypotheticals. Today we're talking about what is definitely going to happen. But if you want to take chances and see what's going to happen this weekend, you can go to our friends. As you can see, I will not say the name because, YouTube ends up blocking the video and you guys don't see it. But you can go check out our friends here. And what you will do when you sign up with them using the code Khosi, you will get 150 match of your deposit, 50 rands for just signing up. Use the code Khosi and then you can be vibing over there at our friends at EasyBets. Which brings us to the next player on the list, and that is Paseka Marco at left back. Now, Ega Marco, to be fair, I looked at it and I thought about it. That's the main, I think there are two players that I thought about mostly for the selection of this next starting 11. By the way, I did get every person correct in the previous video, so I'm just saying. Umarco, I think that he's going to start because the coach has once again said that Kroos is a left centre back. Although since he's arrived at Chiefs, they've played him as a left back. They don't see him as a left. They see him as a left centre back. So I think that Marco, since he's that player who is, is that player who's a specialist left back. I think that's the position that they're going to play him at. But Kroos will still be there, obviously, on the bench, because now he can come on at left back, can come on at left centre back. It depends on what the team needs. I do feel like it's kind of unfortunate for him because he's not put his foot wrong in all the games that we've played. He's actually been very helpful. With him, what we've seen, he works and operates the same way as Umunyane, except that Umunyane starts behind, and then once Lelepo gets the ball, Umunyane then flies forward, right? Like in the video, attack Lamangiting and Kombisayona, Angazguti Yonila. Umunyane, you'll find him in those positions. When the ball is played, then he runs into those areas. But Umako Yena, not Umako, Ukross usually starts further ahead as if he's a 10 or he holds width on the left. But, it's different systems. But with Marco, he's the one who gives width on the left, and that allows Umodi to then invert. But it seems like the coaches, since they see Marco as a specialist number 3, they will play him as a left back. Which then brings us to the next player, and that next player is Mteto as a 6. And I know. Whenever we talk about Mteto, there's always going to be that group that says, oh, but Mteto, when we talk about Mteto, he's a defensive player. Why are we going to talk about Mteto because he's defensive and we're playing against Arrows, and Arrows are not, are not in a good form? But then I say to you, Gunama game value that you're looking at and you think, okay, maybe perhaps Umthetwa is not, the best player for some games. But you are playing against the Golden Arrows, that's not very defensive. They are not defensive. They attack. Do you understand? And for me, as a coach, my priority is let's not concede and grow into the game. Look at what the other team is trying to do. We also have our own attacking plan, but it becomes useless, right? It becomes useless for you to be a team that's attacking, but you're open at the back because you want to hit them hard, right? But they're also expecting that you are going to try and hit them hard. So then they will be ready to hit you on their counters. Like you look at Arrows, 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. So how are they different from us? That they just lost that other game of theirs. So we can't take them for granted and think that we will beat them because it's just Arrows. They are not just Arrows. They did lose to Sewelele, but then the games after that, they did beat, who's this? They beat Richards Bay, they drew Durban City, and they just beat Imakes. So don't take them for granted. Mtetwa comes in, second half you can always take him off and bring on Ungobo. But if they do bench him and they play Ungobo, I also understand. Different profile of a player who's going to help with rotation of the ball. It's just that against Sundowns, one thing I saw, which makes me think Umthetwa might stay, and Zucele I think will still start. He's the one that I think might actually get benched if there's anyone to be changed. Not Umthetwa. Think Ucele. He looked frustrated in the game against Sundowns. For those who were at the stadium, I don't know, on TV I didn't see much of him getting mad. But at stadium, he was just frustrated. And, it didn't seem like himself. I don't know what's going on, but something seems off. Not to saying, oh, he sucks, but something seems, off about him. So I hope that whatever it is can be fixed, because I believe that with technical ability and natural talent, Ucele is the best player we have at Kaizer Chiefs. I honestly believe that. So I hope that it's nothing serious that is bothering him, and he might come back and be the best version that we know. Which brings us to another change as a number 10, and that is Ukaston Serino. Umduduzi Shabalala has been called up to the national team. Good for him. He has performed well. He brings a lot of energy. But I think in the previous game, man, he did not. And since the season started, he plays, he performs, you see what he can give you, but there's a lot more that you know he can give you. It's like there's a mental block of sorts when there's a final pass and then, it just doesn't click. But Usirino, whenever he's come on, I've seen him take charge of the game. You see him popping up on the left, Tati Bola Modi driving with the ball. You see him going to Lilepo, getting the ball, driving with the ball. He commands what you are playing now, which is why also you understand why sometimes he gets benched, because then if he comes in, he's going to bring that change. He's going to bring that energy. He's going to make the team start playing and go forward much more. So I think that he starts this game because Angazi, I really don't know what's happening so far this season. Is it fear? Is it pressure? Angazi. I hope that gets sorted out. But if it doesn't start the game also, Sereno, it would be because they are trying to give him an opportunity again, not to give up on him too soon, but also the energy that it brings, that youthfulness that it brings. I think one thing that was my complaint even in the analysis from the previous game was the fact that his movement towards the box is not what convinces me. Because if he's going to just ling around the D-line and not run into the box, we are short in essence. But with Sereno, he's the one who will be there on the ball, getting on the ball and trying to make sure that he makes things happen. Which brings us to the next player, and that is Claude Lilepo as the right winger. Like, really, do we need to say more about him? I do not think so, because with Lilepo, one thing about him is the fact that he's just quality. He can shoot. Yes, this is one thing that we've even been talking about with Bongani. We need our players to start shooting more. Like, we get outside the box and then we want to be fancy with more and more touches around the box. Just shoot. Just shoot if you can. It's been a tactic of Pirates. It now, like, it's in their core. Mfukeng long range shots. Moha Quarter when he was there, shots. Even against Opits, CM has scored from a long range shot. So we should now normalize shooting from outside the box, if there's space, of course. The lab, nah. I think one thing that I would say is that I need him to invert, right? I know why he holds the width on the right hand side, which is why I would prefer that he plays on the left, right? Because when he plays on the left, then he inverts and then Marco can overlap on the outside of him. But Umonyane, because he likes running in the half space, that forces Ulilepo to be the one who stays wide. But if he's on the left-hand side, then he cuts in and then he's able to take more of his shots. But from the right-hand side, you need the ball to be on a certain angle for you to take a shot. And he's the one really who wants to shoot. So I think his combination and Monyane is not getting the best out of Lilepo, but more out of Umonyane. So if we just take out Modi, who doesn't mind staying wide and he can even come back, track back with the marking, we're fine there. But on the left with Marco, who likes going outside of the defender, of the line and being on the white space, then you can have Lilepo inverting and playing from the left-hand side. They do this, but they do it for like 5 minutes and then they swap back to their positions. I need them to do it much more often and make it permanent. And as you have guessed, on the left wing position is going to be Upule Modi, who did not give me much, by the way, in the previous game. Which is why I am thinking there's a possibility of Sereno starting as a left winger, Duduzi Shabalala as a 10, and Upule Modi eats ice because, in the previous game, defensively, he gives you what he gives you. So there is a lot of configurations that the team can get, but I think that from the previous match and wanting to hit them with pace and knowing that Duduzi struggled a bit with the attacking side, I think the Modi still starts, although I won't be surprised if it doesn't start and they start with Duduzi as a 10 and Sereno wide, which then brings us to Utuba. And Utuba, really, I think this is one of those matches where it's like, okay, my boy, this is your last chance in a way. Not really last chance, but you need to prove yourself in this match. Because tomorrow, I'm telling you now, if he doesn't start Ulilepo, he's going, not Ulilepo, Silva, he's going to come on. That is the game where Silva is going to get his debut, because Dupreez, he came on, he gave us nothing, and in the previous game he played and there wasn't much, and so it's that thing. Did he score in Cape Town? Who scored in Cape Town? I'm not even sure who scored. Who scored in Cape Town? Hey, it was Ungcobo who scored the first goal. The second one was Lillepo, the penalty. Yeah. So he hasn't done anything much, and he's not physically imposing either. And right now, this game needs a person like Silva who's going to be at the end of those crosses. So Uduba starts and he doesn't score because he's gotten 2 good headers in the previous 2 games, but he's not converted. They're not big chances, but he's also let himself down in a way. So I hope that the coaches can give him a good 60 minutes and he does something about it. And then we introduce Silva. But what do you guys think? Hey, by the way, I was on Versus on DSTV. So there is a video on Supersport TV that is here. I'm going to link it down here. Guys, this is Supersport TV. Go there and say Mpilo sent us here, right? Since we are already on YouTube. Click on this video, go watch it. It's a video that you are going to enjoy. Watch it, comment. When you get there, even before you watch anything, say Mpilo sent us here. Babon Uguti Khosi Nation is there. Ne? If you are not watching it on YouTube, you can watch it at 6, or you can even watch it on DSTV catch up. Just search Versus and then you're going to see the video. It's going to be playing on DSTV channel 212 at 6 p.m. But also you can find it on YouTube right here. If you're watching on YouTube, go comment Mpilo sent us here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoy.